Well, if you like the summer heat, this is your weekend. Get out and enjoy it, especially this afternoon. You head into the UK game. It's going to be a hot one. Don't need a jacket, that's for sure. Even by the end of the game, we're still talking about mild temperatures. So no need for any kind of winter gear today. Definitely no rain gear either, because we're not going to have any cloud cover to talk about, except for maybe just a few little puffy cumulus by the afternoon. Remember yesterday? Pretty much rinse and repeat today. Nothing showing up on the radar, so we'll talk about the satellite. We do have some high, thin cirrus that are kind of brushing in, the infrared picking up on that. The brighter the color, the higher the cloud, the colder the cloud. But really, when you look at the entire east half of the country, there is not much going on. This is some dominant high pressure we're talking about. Now, we're going to have what's called a parade of storms. At least that's what I call it. It's going to be basically one low pressure center after the other that's going to have a few fronts attached. But each time they move towards that high pressure, it basically sends everything north. Look at where the winds are going, pulling all of that rain, all of that cloud coverage well to the north around the high pressure. And it's basically just a blocking high. It's waiting for this high pressure to break down before we can start to see those storms get a little bit closer to us. That'll happen by the end of the week coming up. So really the only thing we have to talk about is Maria, because that's the only thing that's happening. It's no longer a threat to land at this point. There are some clouds and some rain that's happening in the Bahamas, maybe the Turks and Caicos at this point, but that's pretty much it. Back to Category 3 strength. It's still a major hurricane. Look how the eye is starting to form again. It's not a very clear eye, and it's about 50 miles wide. And typically when those get small, like 10 or 15 miles, that's when it's a powerful or a pinpoint hurricane. You probably heard that in the last few weeks. That's when it was a Category 5. Well, we're trying to get that eye going. The problem is the storm is going to be moving into cooler water as it continues further north. So it will remain a Category 3, likely not get much stronger than that, but it will eventually weaken as it gets further north. Now, I put the spaghetti plots in there to show you that something is interesting is going to happen with this storm. Now, the National Hurricane Center, that's this blue track with the icons. Look what happens. It starts to curve the storm out east and kind of pull it back to sea. But look where all the spaghetti plots, where all the major models are sitting. They're actually skewing a little bit further west. So what's going to happen? Well, it's likely we're going to see that track move a little bit further west as well. Now, likely not going to make an impact with the U.S., but it will at least bring in some rain, some wind, some coastal erosion, definitely nothing to mess with this storm. This is an interesting look. That was Jose. It's eventually going to get eaten up by what will be Maria at that point, bringing in a little bit of wind and rain for the coast, but watch what happens after Thursday. It just completely gets swept up and moved pretty quickly, and that's going to be the front that's going to bring back the fall weather for us, just basically taking the storm and moving it out. By the way, did you know that Maria was a top 10 hurricane in the Atlantic Basin? 908 was the lowest recorded centralized pressure, so pretty interesting stuff. Once again, heading to the UK game, it's going to be a hot one out there, especially getting around kickoff time. We're talking low 80s, so no jacket needed, that's for sure. Low 70s by the time you're getting home. Plenty of clearing out there, nothing for rain jackets needed. Really not for the next few days. I mean, we really only just have a 5% Monday, and that's because we're going to have a few more clouds out there. That's really about it. But as you can tell, things are going to change, especially as we get into the middle and end of next week. 77 degrees. It gets cooler than that, I promise. Check out the 8-day forecast after we get through today and tonight. Feeling like summer, hot and humid out there. For tonight, a little bit of patchy morning fog, just like what we have this morning. So, once again, rinse and repeat the next couple of days. Getting into the 8-day forecast, there you go. You got plenty of sunshine, but that big cold front going to get here by Thursday, and we go all the way down to 67 for an afternoon high on Saturday. So, changes, they are coming.
All right,
I like
Seth.
it. I like it. I mean, fall's here, folks. Enjoy the last couple of days, of course, but it's time, folks.
It is. It is officially fall, but perfect game weather tonight.
For a win.
That's right.
For a Kentucky win.
All right. Don't go away. We're going to have more LEX 18 news when we come back.